Good tevach, everybody. So I'm going to tell you, Maisa, there was once a Yid who was a chassid of the great Chayz of Lublin, the seer of Lublin. And so as the custom amongst the chassidim was, especially by the Chayza, is that before he undertook any business proposition or undertaking, he would go get a bracha and eitzah from the Rebbe to see if it was matzliach. Not every tzaddik, just on the side, not every tzaddik would be willing to give advice when it came to business and things like that. Some tzadikim were just purely focused on the ruchnis of their chassidim. The Chayz of Lublin in that entire shalshelas was comfortable giving eitzahs about Gashmias as well. So the chassid goes to the Chayz of Lublin and tells him that an opportunity arose for him to get involved in a business with a particular non-Jewish person, and it looks like it should be matzliach, and everything business, his business sense, the person is saying, the chassid is saying, is telling me to go into it. I just want to get a bracha from the Rebbe first. So the chayza looks at him and looks at the kfittel and says, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think it'll be matzliach. I don't think you should do it. And so the chassid says, really, I'm a little bit surprised by that, because everything, all signs point to hatzlacha. So it's just interesting that the Rebbe sees now, like the Chayz says, I don't see this as being matzliach. I don't think you should do it. Okay, fine. This is makabel. He leaves. But like things in medicine, also sometimes you want to get a second opinion. So the Chassid says he wants to get a second opinion. Now the Chayz of Lublin himself was a Talmud of and a Chassid of the great Naim Melech, or the Melech of Lezhensk. So it happens to be that this Chassid was going to visit Lezhensk in a little bit of time, in a couple of weeks. So he figured, he'll push off making a decision about the business venture until he goes to the Naim Melech and he'll ask his Rebbe's Rebbe. So he goes to the Naim Melech a couple of weeks later, doesn't tell the Rebbe Melech of Lezhensk how he had this conversation with the Chayza, but he just goes to the Rebbe Melech. And he tells him that, he has an opportunity to get involved with this particular non-Jew about business, and he thinks he'll be matzliach, but he's not sure, so he wants to get an eitzah and bracha from the Rebbe. So the Melech looks at him, he looks at the kfittel, and he says, bracha v'atzlacha, it'll be matzliach, Bez Hashem, it'll be gevaldik. Okay? So, he got his etter. So that's what he did. So he got involved with the business. Now it happens to be, after just a short amount of time, a few weeks, a couple months, being involved with this non-Jew in this particular business, he saw real signs of how difficult of a person his new business partner was. Not only was this non-Jew, his personality just overbearing, but he wasn't as honest as he thought he was. And not only that, the business began to fall apart. There was no profits, and then there was losses. Not only did he find that the business that he was involved in with this non-Jew was not having hatzlacha, but he found a lack of hatzlacha in all of his other businesses as well. Just everything was falling apart, and it seemed that the Chayz of Lublin's eyes, saw the truth, and the Chayz of Lublin that predicted the business not being matzliach, it seems that he was correct. So this was going on for a number of months, and things are just getting worse and worse and worse in all areas of the guy's life. All areas of Parnasa. Until finally, after about half a year or so, slowly but surely the tide begins to turn and things begin to pick up. And not only after just a short amount of time, another few months, everything goes back to the way it was, but it's actually matzliach. His other businesses are even more matzliach than before, and there's a change of personality with this non-Jew, and even the business that he invested with this non-Jew begins to turn around, and everything is super matzliach, and that seems that the Rebbe Melech was correct. It's a little bit of a funny thing. So it happens to be about a year or so later, there was a particular wedding, a chasana, that the Naim Melech and the Chayz of Lublin happened to be together at. And this Jew as well was there, he was invited. So, he's a little bit awkward, because these are the two tzadikim that he took advice from, and as far as he knows, neither of them know that he spoke to the other one, but he gives shalom to both of them. And when the Naim Melech looks at this Yid, and the Chayz looks at this Yid, they understand. And so the Naim Melech turns to his Chassid, the Chayz of Lublin, he says, listen, you have very good eyes. They call you the Chayz, that you have very, very good eyes. But you saw until the patch. But I was able to see beyond the patch. I saw after the patch. That's sometimes how we have to think in our lives of the Rabbanu Shalom towards us. It's one thing to have the eyes to see the patch, but it takes very good eyes, and Bez Hashem, we have to work on having those eyes to see beyond the patch, to see beyond the patch. Bez Hashem, the Rebbeinu Shem should bless each and every one of us with no patches at all, no patches at all. But if God forbid there's any difficulty in a person's life on any level, would be ruchnius and gashmius, we have to be zeicha not just to have the eyes of the Chayz of Lublin to see those difficulties as coming from Hashem, but also to have the eyes of the Navi Melech to believe and to hope and to wait for the menucha and the nechama that's going to come after the patch as well. To have those eyes of the tzaddik of the Navi Melech. Hashem should bless each and every one of us with a lichte gevach, a mazel de gevach, a gula de gevach. We shall be zeicha to celebrate this week, Bez Hashem, with Mashiach Tzidkenu Yerushalayim b'meher v'imenu. Amen.